How do I... There we go. What up, Ocean? What up, Millie? What's poppin'? What's going on, boys? What's poppin'? What up, Xavier? LeBeau, okay. I see you, Ocean. Ocean, why don't you have Cod Lodge Island, bro? You had Cod Lodge for 40, bro. Did you have LeBeau before Cod Lodge came out, or Cod Lodge Island? What up, Xavier? Good to see you, buddy. I got to give my drink to my wife real quick. One sec. Precious Liquid. Beautiful. Scent of the day tomorrow will be Tarathi Electric. How do you like it, man? Is it good? Yeah, it's probably a bottle warmer. Yeah, but maybe my mom did. One second, guys. 1 second. I'll be right there. Oh man, we already shot up and freaking yo, make sure y'all hit the 3 dots here or here and like the video so that YouTube starts dumping more people in here. Let's see. Let's scroll down. Let's see what's up. Bro, I got Cod Lodge. If you have Cod Lodge, why do you have LeBeau? Fakar Black, then I showered. Now it's Assad Zanzibar. Tropical Beauty. But Cod Lodge is a dupe of LeBeau Le Parfum. Didn't you say you were rocking LeBeau? Oh, Le Parfum. Okay. Imperium by Elictimus. Pretty good scent. Pretty good scent. I put my nose on that like a month ago. It's pretty good scent. Yeah, hit that thumbs up button. What's up, Joel? How are you, buddy? I got to get up early tomorrow because I'm going to summer camp, but I'm trading my Dolce & Gabbana for Dior Sauvage, so I'm hyped for that. Your Dolce & Gabbana. What Dolce & Gabbana are you giving away for Dior? Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Adios. Adios, mijo. Joel with that broom. Joel with that street sweeper. The OG light blue. Okay, that's a good trade then. Good night, boys. Good night, boys. Get your 10 seconds of fame. Get your 10 seconds of fame. Yo, we're timeouting everyone tonight. Come get your 1 minute of fame. Other scent of the days. What's popping? Kicks. What's good? What's popping? What's popping? What's popping? Man. It'll be a little bit of a slow night tonight. We're not gonna be on for too late, guys. We're gonna just get in and get out. How y'all like my Disney hat? I wear that for Mom Dukes. Got my tea. We're gonna get straight through it. Boom, 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 boom. Kicks, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I gots to do it. Kicks, I'm gonna do this just for you, bro. We gotta just know. I'm gonna save the ones, to be honest. But this 2, oh, it's juicy too. Mineral wood. I got to. I got to, bro. I got to. Oh, that's different. That's different. That's different. Yo, Kicks. It's so funny. Kicks, it's so funny when people claim like this is the best thing in the world, right? And then you get your nose on it. It's so crazy. Wow. Wow. Mm. Mm. Mineral, I was thinking for like a second, Kicks, that mineral wood would just be something like completely off the wall because Fragrance Apprentice said this was supposed to be like one of the best fragrances he smelled in 2024. There's something that this smells like, but it's great, but it's a really good scent, but it's interesting, like people's noses and stuff. What's up, Barbara? Good to see you. Good to see Barbara. Good to see Barbara. Good to see the kids going to sleep. Good to see the kids returning their phones back to their parents and getting a good night's sleep. What's poppin', man? What's the questions for tonight? It's a daycare today. It's a daycare today on the West Coast. What's good, man? What questions y'all got? What questions y'all got? Yeah, we put them to bed. We pat them on the butt. We give them their milk. You know what I'm saying? We put it. Yo, it's so funny. Like you would think by now people know that there's bots and great people in here working together to sweep out trolls, but it's hilarious. Like they get swept fast. This is the 30 seconds of fame tonight. Hey, Kicks, the title of this stream tonight is 30 seconds of fame. Yeah, Grim, to be honest, if you want like the most niche smelling, affordable barbershop, right here, this pretty much is a classic clone of Creed's Bois de Portugal, La Ligue pour Homme Lion. This right here, it's a little bit more sophisticated than barbershop because it's cloning Portugal from Creed. But this right here, if you want an affordable $25 banger that smells like something you'd get at Neiman's, definitely cop this. If you want something more modern than this, but the same style, get Mercedes-Benz Intense from online or Ross. Just got Aqua Wood today. Finally, 2 years of forgetting to buy it. Aqua Wood's nice. I like it. I love it. Yo, mods are beating me to the punch tonight. Versace Dreamer, okay. And Prada Ambar, it was like a barbershop in the 90s. Yeah, I could see that. Versace don't smell like a barbershop, though. Versace is more floral. It's just so old smelling. What up, BC? We just talking to him tonight. We putting him to bed tonight. Too much, Jay. Don't worry about it. It's not the money. Not the money. The money doesn't matter. It's about the juice. It's about the juice. We don't see names in here. We just see juice. Best niche citrus? Well, hold on. Best oud wood inspo or best take on the DNA. Honestly, oud wood's not a hard DNA to clone. You could get Maison Alhambra's woody oud and you'll be just fine. Like, smells just like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oud wood is so easy to make because all you need is the agarwood tree. You don't even need real oud. Just get Maison Alhambra woody oud. I'm telling you, man. I wouldn't tell you to pay an extra $20, $30, $40 for a clone. You don't need to. There's no need. Like, if there was something worth paying the extra money for, then I would absolutely tell you, you know, get the better clone or get the better inspiration. But woody oud will take care of you. I think I do have woody oud in here. I told y'all, man, I don't speak on fragrances I don't own. Woody oud is fantastic. Woody oud is fantastic. And it's a great layering fragrance. You can put it with anything. Anything you want to do. You want to go oud wood with incense, oud wood with citrus, oud wood with fruits, oud wood with vanilla. I mean, whatever you want to do, bro. Oud wood with greens. Woody oud, $20 Amazon. Just buy it. Thank me later. If you first smell oud wood and you have a bunch of designers, oud wood feels expensive, so you think a clone's not going to come off as expensive, but not true at all. What's a fragrance that smells very floral but still masculine? Right here. This is a clone of Initio Musk Therapy. This is Glorious Oud Royal Blanc by French Avenue. $30 online. 1-to-1 clone of Initio's Musk Therapy. This is a super musky white floral fragrance. Kind of has a little bit of a powder white florals. Most masculine white floral fragrance you'll smell. It's very nice. My wife loves this on me. And we have a lot of expensive bottles here. My wife loves this on me. What else we got? I love when the trolls come in because then my mods actually have something to do. What's a 90s scent that you think a person can pull off now? Oh, easy. Easy. I said this before. Lalique Pour Homme Lion is a clone of Bois de Portugal. It's a fougere scent. This is made in 1997. You can still wear this today. If you're under 25, don't cop this fragrance. Buy Mercedes-Benz Intense. That's this DNA, but more modern. If you're 25 and up, you can pull this off today. Pre-2000 scent. Easy. Honestly, this fragrance was made in the 2000s. Bentley for Men Intense. Actually, I don't prefer Intense. I think Bentley for Men Intense is a little too crazy for a fougere. But Bentley for Men OG, which is the same fragrance, just scaled back to be a little bit fresher. You could wear that in 2025. Very sexy, rummy fougere. You could totally wear this today. And I actually think 20 and up could rock this every day, all day. $25 for a really nice niche smelling fragrance. I mean, you guys hear about Bentley for Men Intense all the time, but people rarely talk about the OG, just Bentley for Men OG. It's the exact same scent cut in half. And to me, Bentley for Men is so intense, I need it cut in half. So I like this one. And even though this is a 2000 scent, it smells like a 90s scent, but just more fresh. Another house that has a lot of fragrances from the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s that people don't know about is Chanel Exclusive and Original Chanel. So you can get anything from Chanel, minus like Allure Homme Sport and Platinum Egoist and all that stuff. You can go into the exclusive line or some of the original Chanel No. 5s and stuff, and those fragrances are made 90s and down, and they still are modern, timeless scents in Neiman Marcus today. No, he was just saying he was looking for a oud wood inspiration from Tom Ford, and I was telling him that basically all the Tom Ford oud wood clones are good enough. Oud wood from Tom Ford is an easy scent to clone. So if you're trying to get an inspiration, you don't have to go to Yaman Lale or one of these other Joe Milano or all this stuff. You can get any clone of oud wood is going to do just fine for that scent. And oud wood, there's no real oud in oud wood anyway. It's just agar wood, so easy scent to clone. You ever checked out Versace Eros Najim? I don't have it. I've never owned a bottle, but I have checked it out. Nice. That's dope, Morgan. In the description of all my videos, I have a private inbox. If you want to send your fragrance to my private inbox, I'll review it for you if you want honest feedback. PDM Sedley or Percival. Sedley's more versatile. Percival's more circumstantial. Well, I mean, oud is the agarwood tree infected, so that infection is where they extract the oud from. But a lot of people can't get real oud, so they make the oud synthetically. I would say 90 to 95% of all perfumery from niche down doesn't use real oud. They use agarwood wood and they mix materials and synthetics together to imitate oud, and then they list their fragrance as oud. A lot of fragrance houses, as long as they put the tiniest amount of oud in their fragrance, they get to list oud as a note in their fragrance, when in reality, most of the oud that's in their fragrance is synthetically created. Most ouds, even with real ouds, have synthetics in them, but majority of the fragrances that claim to have oud in them are imitation ouds, and then they put the tiniest trace amount of real oud in it. But because of that reason, there aren't many fragrances you can look to say this is what great real oud smells like, because real oud is extremely expensive and most people would rather imitate it. Can you rank my Banana Republic lineup? Best to worst. Vintage Green 78, Midnight Hour, Linen Vetiver, Neroli Woods Tobacco Tonka Dark Cherry Amber. What's the best cheap cologne? Anything at Ross. Oud is only fit for certain skin types. With that logic, every raw material is only made for certain skin types. In terms of every raw material and every fragrance will sit on skin and react to skin and project off of skin differently. So that's not to exclusivize that comment to oud alone is ridiculous, because skin types affect all fragrances. They can either change scent profile on your skin, change projection, change longevity. They could fall apart. I mean, it's just incredible. So oud is not exclusive to that experience. Any fragrance you have can react several different ways on different skin types. Can you speak on Mephisto? It's next on the list, and I want your opinion. Mephisto is Mephisto is like being on Mount Everest. So you have a cold Arctic wind with a cold glass of blue Kool-Aid. So you got the blue Kool-Aid, slight citrus, Arctic blast, minty touch. There's a cooling to it. I really like it. It's my favorite blue of all time right now. Are my eyes red? No, it's just the camera. Okay. My favorite blue of all time right now, but most people that have Mephisto will tell you to buy Mephisto. What's it called? I think it's called Gentle Uomo. Casa Mirati, Mephisto, Gentle Uomo. They think that's a smoother rendition of that fragrance. I don't need Gentle Uomo, personally, I like this just fine. This is plenty good. Great performance, beautiful fragrance. I don't know why people think this isn't smooth. I think just compared to Gentle Uomo version of it, they prefer it. But I mean, that's splitting hairs, man. That fragrance is a banger. Curve, cool water, old school. Oud is a funny word I love. The one I make for myself is just a water mixed with my favorite scents: forget me not, blossom, jasmine, ylang ylang, grass, rosemary, etc. It smells amazing. Yeah, I mean, just because you have a synthetic created oud, doesn't mean it smells bad. It could affect accuracy because real oud lasts way longer than most other raw materials. So oud is often left over on a fragrance if it has real oud in it, much longer than when the fragrance dissipates. But there's just more factors that play into how your oud is going to smell, because if you're trying to synthetically go for oud, it's like, what type of oud are you trying to synthetically go after? So mainly when people synthetically make oud, they wind up making a fragrance that doesn't really smell like oud at all. It just smells woody. And to call it an oud fragrance would really be a crime. But synthetic ouds are all over. I mean, if you look at Initio's Oud for Greatness, trace amounts of real oud, almost indistinguishable, but it's a great fragrance. Tom Ford Oud Wood, trace amounts of oud, great fragrance. Xerjoff Alexandria 2, trace amounts of oud, great fragrance. So just because it's synthetic doesn't mean it's bad either. So you can get great scents out of synthetic oud. Parfums from Marley, Sedley or Parsival, we already said that. I mean, a niche citrus, Xavier, is easily Mephisto. Arctic Blast, Blue Kool-Aid, and beautiful bright citruses. Another one, Vetiver Sensual. This is a beautiful vetiver fragrance loaded with the most radiant citruses, lime dominant, but there is some lemon, some grapefruit all in the mix. An incredible citrus driven fragrance, most wearable vetiver out there. Bright, radiant, smells like sunshine, but niche style. It's got complexity, incredible performance. So there's 2 citruses for you, buddy. Love, beautiful, beautiful. What's up, everybody? Have you tried Charisma Pour Homme by Zanaya? I have not, Genji. You want to send me a decant of it? Yeah, no, I mean, a lot of people, their skin reacts negatively to fragrance, especially if you're wearing it around the clavicle or the, I almost said trachea, around your thyroid gland, which is right here. So a lot of people like more water-based scents, oil-based. You really just got to know your skin. The quickest way to tell if your fragrance doesn't react well to a fragrance is to throw it on your neck and see if you start flaring up. Now, don't listen, the amount of fragrance doesn't matter. It's that I have a story with all of these fragrances. Even fragrances that are way down here, I could pick up and tell you a story about. I don't acquire fragrances to look cool. I like story, I like scents, so if I come down here and grab this fragrance, right? This is one of the best cognac tobaccos ever made. You think Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille or any of these, or something like an Angel Share. Tobaccos are often harsh, and even when you have a smooth tobacco, a tobacco fragrance generally is like very dark. Kind of has a cowboy leather jacket feel to it. This is some of the smoothest pipe tobacco I've ever smelled. There's no ashiness. It's just smooth. And what makes it smooth is it's soaked in cognac. So it's got a slight bit of vanilla, slight bit of cognac, smoothest tobacco you ever smelled. But most fragrance houses will stop there and maybe throw some cinnamon or some incense or something like that. They don't stop at the tobacco and the vanilla and the booze. Then they throw frankincense and myrrh on the bottom, right, to make it feel a little bit more robust. But here's the catch: papyrus, mint, and bergamot. So it's got this super bright, uplifting airiness on this DNA that just makes it so wearable. Nightlife, lounge, theater, date night, but even daytime, if you're in some colder weather, this just radiates off skin. It's got way more character than something like Tobacco Vanille or Angel Share to me. It's mature, but it's so light that really 25 and up could wear it. And you're not going to have a fragrance that smells like this. Surprisingly, this fragrance is only 40 bucks. You have a really niche scent, you know what I'm saying? This is incredible. I hate Tobacco Vanille. I think it's a balance issue for me. Most houses don't know how to balance and tame tobacco and vanilla. Vanilla is always super forward. Tobacco is always ashy or smells old manish or ancient or loungy. This right here smells like I'm in Manhattan and I just checked into a 5-star hotel. And I go into the lobby floor. To my right is a luxurious woman, all minked out in a fur coat at the bar, drinking, cognac, right, on ice. And then to my left, there's a fireplace with a fire going and a couple just kind of talking. And then I go up, I check into my room, and as I get my card and I go into the elevator on floor 1, somebody's drunk what do you call it? Some drunk guy just gets out of the elevator not looking and he drops cognac all over my leather jacket. So the atmosphere of the amber and the warmth from the fire, the elegance, the tobacco, the booze from the bar smell, and then just drenches me in cognac. But then you have this upscaleness because when you're in a hotel lobby, you kind of smell this, I don't know, effervescence is the right word, this like aromatic cleanness. All of that is packed in this bottle. And so for $40 to get that type of transportive experience is nice. And it just does tobacco and vanilla better than most houses. So I have a memory with that, and that's sitting on the bottom of my shelf, So it's about the experiences that you get with fragrance. You can have 5-10 fragrances and have crazy experiences with them. It was good, Dizzy. So Rhett asks, have I ever had a shelf break? If you tune into the last live from 2-3 days ago, I was talking and people wanted to see my collection. So I brought it up like this and I was talking and my fat butt hit this shelf right here and knocked all of these over, all of them. I think you could see some damage control. My arrows got chipped up. I think nothing broke, but some stuff chipped. It was a crazy fall. So tune into my last live if you want to see one full shelf fall down. Boss Bottled Absolute is great. Probably one of the top 3 Boss fragrances. I don't know what the update is that you're looking for, buddy. You got to cue me into what update you're referring to. Would you say Polo is a good starter cologne? The Parfum Polos are okay starters, but for that amount of money, you can get so many fragrances on my shelf. La Lique and Ferragamo would be great starter brands, and Bentley. Thoughts on Ani? Ani is an amazing scent, one of the best from Nichane. It's one of the most luxurious tamed vanillas out there. I think you could blind buy Ani easily. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Polo fragrances because they're like Mont Blanc. They're so fake smelling. Even the good smelling fragrances are more of the citrus driven fragrances, and their citruses are more synthetic than a lot of the clones you can get. So it just doesn't make sense to me in 2025 to pay anywhere between $30 to $70 for a Polo fragrance, because you can spend $20, $30 on pretty much any clone and they're going to have a better smell to them than just about most Mont Blancs and most Polo fragrances. I just did some hot takes on the Polo Blue Parfum, the Red Parfum, and there was another one. And I reviewed the Parfums because those get the highest votes, is the Parfums, and they still smelled fake. You'd have to layer with them to make them really go. What kind of perfume lasts long normally? Normally, a good rule of thumb, I mean, if you have a well-made fragrance, any note profile can really push. But generally speaking, citruses, aquatics, florals, no, citruses and aquatics and earthy notes typically last shorter than sweet-driven notes. You know, vanillas, cinnamons, you know, sweet fruits, you know, your pineapples, um, you know, your resins last longer. So typically fall winter scents naturally last longer than spring summer scents, but that's not always the case. That's just a decent rule of thumb to follow. So really you should try all your fragrances. But if you go on Fragrantica, if you're looking at a spring summer fragrance, you can look at the longevity of it before you even buy it. Now, granted, longevity is a general rule of thumb because everybody's skin reacts differently. But I would say if something says it has 10 hours of longevity, you should at least get within a 2-hour window. You should get exactly the 10 hours. Maybe your skin pushes it 2 hours more, or maybe your skin pushes it 2 hours less. I rarely see a situation where, say, a fragrance says it goes for 8 hours, then you wear it and it's 4. Doesn't really make sense. Now, I don't really care too much about longevity. I care about scent. If the scent's good enough, I will wear it. Great example of this. By Killian Straight to Heaven. I love this fragrance because it's rum raisin, chocolate soaked patchouli, leather, and dried fruits. So you have this like dark chocolate soaked leather, then you have rum, and you have like raisins and dried fruits. It is a mesmerizing, intoxicating date night killer. If you are above the age of 25, there's not much in your collection that will ever smell like Straight to Heaven from By Killian. But you want to know something? You'd be lucky to get 3 hours of performance out of this fragrance. You will get about an hour of projection, and with heavy application, even with this dope atomizer, right? Great Addy. You will be lucky to get 2-3 hours of great performance out of this fragrance. Now, most people's logic is, am I going to drop like $200 on a fragrance that lasts me 3 hours? My rebuttal to that is, does anything in your collection smell like this? Number one. Number two, this fragrance is tailored towards intimate, close quarter, date night, or hanging out with the opposite sex. So if I'm Netflix and chilling, or I go to a restaurant, or I go to a lounge, do I really need the fragrance to push past the 3-hour mark? So that's number two. Number three, longevity in theory is a myth, because you want to know how to get infinite longevity with a fragrance? Okay, I'll show you. This fragrance lasts on my skin no more than 3 hours. So what am I going to do to make it last 12? Every 3 hours, I'm going to reapply it. Probably not, because I would never have a sensual date night or Netflix and chill scenario need to last me 12 hours. But if I had to, I would just keep reapplying because it's that unique of a scent profile. Lalique Equus, Amber, Vetiver, Grapefruit. This is a great fragrance, but I might only get about 4 to 5 hours of real longevity on this fragrance. The dent doesn't lie, though. It's an amazing fragrance. So what am I going to do for infinite longevity? After that 4 or 5 hours, I'm going to reapply. And the same goes for any fragrance. Trace Oros, day 3. Yes, this fragrance only needs 2 sprays on my skin. 1, 2. And it will go the entire day. Okay, off 2 sprays. And that's amazing, right? But the reality is not all fragrances are like that. And as you start to collect fragrances, it becomes about experiences. What fragrances, at first you're like, I want a couple versatile blues. I want a couple versatile aquatics. I want a couple of citrus fragrances. I want a couple gourmands. I want a couple date night killers. You start wanting a couple scents for each thing, right? At first, you only want 1 fragrance for each thing. Then you want to start to have some versatility. As you start collecting, you get to fragrance 10 or 20. Now it's about what fragrance, okay, I have something for everything. What fragrances just transport me and give me a whole different vibe or experience that the rest of my collection can't. And when you're looking with that goal in mind, performance becomes less of an issue because at the end of the day, you can just decant it into a travel spray and put it in your pocket. The only reason decanting sucks for most people is because they don't decant. The idea seems intimidating. But when you see how easy it is to just pop the top, press it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now you got a travel spray in 2 seconds, it's like, oh, okay, longevity isn't really that big of a conversation. I do think you should have some fragrances with some longevity that you could just put on and call it a day. But if you only buy a fragrance based on longevity, you will miss out on so many unique scents that you would never smell if you have a longevity problem with. Another issue is you can put on lotions and oils and have good hygiene and get a fragrance, or you can molecule one or 90 pure white it or ISO E super yourself and make a fragrance go 2 to 4 more hours. I was just at the Chanel boutique in Neiman Marcus when I was on vacation yesterday, and Chanel now sells ISO E super basically as a scent. And they claim that when you put ISO E super on your skin, it makes a fragrance. It adds they claim, this could be completely false, but they claim that their ISO E super bottle will push a fragrance an extra 4 hours. That's the claim. So there's tons of ways to make a weak fragrance push. What kind of fragrance lasts long? Normally, we just answered that. Armani Emporio used to be my go back in the day. Is there anything similar but more modern to... It depends, Secto. Which particular fragrance? Thoughts on Mont Blanc Extreme Leather, synthetic to me. Best chocolatey fragrance? Well, there's several. Tom Ford Black Orchid, or this clone right here, Zara Man. It's a 1-to-1 amazing clone. I actually prefer this over Tom Ford Black Orchid. $30 on Triple Traders. Cacao, Patchouli, Orchid. Has a chocolate cakey vibe to it with a little bit of mysterious floral to it. Or Tom Ford Black Orchid EDP. This has a chocolate effect to it. By Killian, Straight to Heaven. Dark chocolate soaked in leather. Rum raisin and dried fruits. This has a chocolate cakey vibe. Diptyque makes a fragrance called Tempo. I love this because look at the artwork on the back. Isn't that so dope? I mean, just appreciate perfumery here, guys. So you have this, right? And then look at the artwork on the back. Isn't that so fire? It's like a volcano or something. But this fragrance has a chocolate cake vibe in the freshest way possible. This is probably the lightest fragrance out of these three, but it still has the chocolate patchouli. Patchouli fragrances typically can come off cakey. If it's patchouli with a little bit of vanilla, or like patchouli with some cacao, or patchouli with a sweet floral, all that can make a fragrance come off chocolatey and velvety. So those are 3 fragrances that kind of have that vibe. Yeah, check out those 3. Carolina Herrera, okay. Best eau de parfum, need a new one. Also, what type of cologne lasts the longest? So we went over what type of fragrances last the longest. Best eau de parfum is irrelevant. Eau de parfum is like every fragrance. So I would need a little more specific of a question. What do you think of Mind Games? So Mind Games makes some incredible fragrances. None of them are worth $400 or $500, which is what they're asking for. Thankfully, thankfully for you guys, Mind Games is so overpriced that clone houses are starting to clone Mind Games. So the Double Attack was just recently cloned very well. But they'll start to go after, Mentor, Jadoub, Grandmaster, what was the other one? So they have Double Attack and then the cherry fragrance. Trust me, Give it like 5, 6 months, and all the major hitters from Mind Games will be cloned. I don't think any fragrance in Mind Games, and I've smelled almost the entire line, is worth $400 or $500. Blockade. Yeah, Blockade's good too. What's your top 3 Suspiro? I'm not into Suspiro much, to be honest, because some of the fragrances from Suspiro are cloned by a lot of designer in niche houses, but Suspiro's cool. Can you rate Spectre Ghost with performance? I see, excuse me, most people report about 6 to 8 hours of performance with Spectre Ghost. Tobacco from Dior's Private is super good. Have you tried it? Are you talking about Tobacco Lore? Or is Tobacco Lore? If you're talking about Tobacco Lore, that's a great one. What type of fragrance lasts the longest? We already went into that. I would stay away from Polo Ralph Lauren. I would get into Lalique. I would get into Bentley. I would get into Ferragamo. If you're looking for fragrances that smell expensive that are all under $30. Vetiver Sensual is fire. I love Mancera. Oud Lemon Mint, Sicily, and Sole Italia are nice too. I mean, honestly, there's so many good Manceras. There's so many good ones. Like, I could give you a top 10 list off the top of my head. Do you ever transfer to a secondary bottle because the atomizer lacks performance? Atomizers have nothing to do with performance. Or the scent is only in a dab bottle. Nope, I don't know what that question means. Penguin badge number 2. Okay, cool, cool, Myers. I didn't know about that. How do you even decide a fragrance to wear each day? I wear a new fragrance every single day. There's a lot of great options. When you have great fragrances, you don't got to think too long. Is that Diptyque Tom Dow? No, I carry Florida Pow and Tempo. Eau de Parfums on both of them. Don't buy a Diptyque fragrance unless you get it in Eau de Parfum. All the Eau de Toilettes are skin scents. Any dragon fragrance themed or named any dragon fragrance themed or named any. Boadicea makes a fragrance called Dragon. These are their bottles, and it has a dragon on the front. So that's the only dragon fragrance I know. Chanel Allure Sport or Creed Absolute Ventus. They're really 2 completely different fragrances. Both of them you should own. Chanel Allure Sport is, it's a orange, creamsicle, vanilla, fresh fragrance that's super versatile. So you should have it. Creed Absolute Ventus is smoky, birchy, woody pineapple with oak moss and black currant. Sexy, masculine, boss scent and date night scent and nightlife scent. So you should have both of them. They really shouldn't be compared. Bleu de Chanel's great. We have it down here. But honestly, you should never waste your money on Bleu de Chanel because when fragrances like this exist, Club de Nuit Iconic, you pay $20-$25 on Amazon, and this is 1-to-1 with Bleu de Chanel. 1-to-1. $20-$25. Discounters 50, in person 100, 120. Exact same fragrance. So look into Club de Nuit Iconic and you'll be just fine. That actually outperforms Bleu de Chanel by about 2 hours. But I like Bleu de Chanel. He skipped my question and it's getting late. I don't know. Don't really know what else to tell you guys. Let's see. What up with Invictus Aqua? But I can't find any info on Aqua. Or is it listed anywhere on discount? Jag, dude, come on, Jag. You're smarter than this. Get your butt on Fragrantica and stop whining. Appreciate you, Dragon. Appreciate you, man. Let's see. I don't know what chlorophyll smells like. It's supposed to be translated as a green note, but I think on Fragrantica they say it smells like a couple different things: earthy, green, aldehydic. I'm not sure. Why is it that certain colognes smell not that great on bottle or spray on paper, but when I in person a few minutes later it smells super good, like Burberry Touch for him, horrible, but on person great? Never judge a fragrance on a test strip. This is my rule of thumb. If the fragrance kind of smells good or good, put it on skin. Because some fragrances have crazy transitions over others. I'm realizing my voice sounded incredible at the start of the stream, but because I'm talking, it's like literally leaving me in real time. Yeah, if a fragrance smells kind of good or good, put it on your skin, because some fragrances smell nothing like the test strip and have crazy transition. So many people judge fragrances off of test strips. And even on skin, like if you put a fragrance on your skin, what you're smelling right now, it could have a 30-minute transition. A lot of fragrances take 30 minutes to an hour to transition. And you're left with the dry down. That's what you're left with. So you spend the whole time deciding if you're going to buy the fragrance based off the freaking test strip or in the air or right away on skin. You might be messing out, man, like completely. What do you think about Mashraba? 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Do you like a specific scent inside your vehicle? No, I don't. Hydration can make a difference on skin. It also can't. But everything is a factor in fragrance. Weather, skin, fragrance concentration, hygiene, oil in skin, whether you layered it or not, certain note types with skin composition, concentration of fragrance. There are so many elements that affect a fragrance that you literally can have one fragrance smell you can have one fragrance smell 10 different ways on 10 different people, given the right ratio of skin to weather to concentration. Like, it's crazy. That's why you should always be putting your fragrances on your skin and getting at least a 1-day test on them. Appreciate you, Jag. Thanks for the kind words. What's your favorite of all time for everyday use? I don't have a favorite of all time. Some right now for like everyday use. Everyday use. Lalique Equus, certainly one of them. Lalique White, certainly one of them. Guys, notice right now I'm only naming $25 fragrances, and I have hundreds and hundreds of dollars of fragrance just on this shelf. Thousands, actually. Lalique Equus, Lalique White, everyday, night, day, whatever. Everyday use. Versace Eros, 35 bucks, 100 ml. Lalique Lin Sumi. The dock phone charger is on my computer desk. Okay, got it. My wife sent me a text. Lalique Lin Sumi. Every day. I just did memoirs of a fragrance on this right here. Go check my videos. We did like a nighttime after hours, like story time, light the candle type of vibe on this fragrance right here. This fragrance is not discontinued, but always sold out. If you can get your hands on this, buy like 3 bottles. Out of all my collection, in that Memoirs of a Fragrance episode, I said if there was one fragrance in my collection that I wanted to naturally smell like, it would be this fragrance. If I woke up in the morning and just had a natural skin smell, this is the only fragrance in my entire collection I would want to smell like. Lalique Lin Sumi. On Joma or Fragrance by CA, if you guys can get this fragrance, it's actually very affordable. It's only like 40, 50 bucks. But every time it becomes available, it sells out immediately. When it restocks, you got about 3 to 5 days to get a bottle or you will miss out. It sells out every single time. So yeah, we named 3. Is there anything expensive I have that's an everyday? Here's one as well. Chanel Le Lion. Every day. Every day. Many of the diptyque fragrances, every day. I could wear Fleur de Peau, EDP, every single day. I could wear Tempo every single day. Now we're talking niche, right? Honestly, I don't really rock straight floral fragrances as a guy, but this is the most wearable floral I would ever wear. Ex Nihilo Fleur Narcotique. I'm not a big floral guy, but if there was ever a bouquet of flowers I wanted to smell like as a man, it would be these. What I've found as a man with floral fragrances is men prefer light florals, like a light fragrance composition with florals. If it comes off kind of like sparkling champagne, light, airy, men can deal with florals. The only time a man can deal with florals who isn't a more feminine man is if the florals are loaded with musk. That is the only heavy exception to florals I will make. So for instance, this is the only floral-driven fragrance I carry that has 10 hours plus heavy performance, but still feels masculine. Why? Because of musk. This is a clone of Initio's Musk Therapy. French Avenue Glorious Oud Royal Blanc, top 3 best clones of 2024, and it has monstrous performance. This smells like a bouquet of white florals that are fresh, sweet, slightly powdery. You would be intimidated by this floral, but they injected the piss out of it with heavy amounts of musk, which keep it perfectly unisex. These are the most masculine heavy florals you will ever come across. Extremely versatile. My wife loves this on me. So that's what I'm learning about myself. And everything I just said about florals is an opinion. Compared to a fragrance like Ex Nihilo Fleur Narcotique, this has a more white champagne, sparkling white champagne feel on a bouquet of light colored florals. Yellow, white, pink. So the only thing that keeps this masculine is because it's light and airy and not heavy flower basket. It's light, sparkling champagne, white champagne with floral drivenness. And that's where I find a fragrance can still feel masculine, or at the very least, perfectly unisex. Outside of that, if you just start handing me florals, I can't wear it as a man. That's been my experience. Okay, let's run through these because, guys, I'm starting to lose my voice, so I don't want to, Do you have a favorite fougere fragrance? Some favorite fougères. Lalique Pour Homme Lion. This is a more classic fougere. Take on Bois de Portugal from Creed. $25. You don't need Creed. Bam. This is a modern fougere take. Lalique White. It has everything perfect in a fresh fragrance, but fougere elements as well. It's green. It's citric. It's peppery. It's white. It's linen. It's soap. It's tamarind, spice. It's just got everything. Linen, soap, green, pepper, citrus, all the best things about a fresh fragrance in one. So it feels way more sophisticated. Nice, modern fougere. Even something classic. Like I don't deal with metallics too much with fragrances, but Bentley Momentum Unlimited. Another great, classy, soapy take on the fougere. Bentley for Men OG is a boozy fougere. Very nice. Bentley for Men Black Edition is fougere-esque, but feels way more like Young Money. I call this the Young Money fragrance. It's basically Creed Aventus, lighter and fresher, but they replaced the pineapple with mandarin orange. Young Money. If you want to smell like you're in your 20s and you're hopping out the Bentley, you're hopping out the Benz, you're hopping out the Beamer, Young Money. What are some other fougères? Le Leon from Chanel, Coromandel. Those are the niche upgrades to the fougère scent proof profile while not smelling like a barbershop. Um, what other fougères do we have? We have a lot, but I don't know if I want to get into them tonight. Lin Sumi is a green modern take on a fougère. Think Dior's Eau Sauvage, but way more modern, way more fresher, way more unique. Eau Sauvage from Dior smells like an old cash register. This does not. This is basically the freshest green with a little bit of pine sap, a little bit of watery notes, and morning dew. So good. Okay. I'm going to fly through the questions here and then we're going to head out. Do you like Hawas? I like Hawas Ice. I heard the new Hawas is nice. Original, Fire, and Black to me are not worth the money. Top 3 designer fragrances. I can't tell you that, but top 3 designer houses. I'll give you a top 5 designer houses. Chanel, Tom Ford, Lalique, Bentley, and Ferragamo. French Defense is a must for Mind Games. Best cherry on the market. It's not a must. French Defense has an official clone now that's like 95% close to Mind Games. A cherry fragrance is never worth $400 to $500 in my opinion. But French Defense is a very good smelling fragrance, but the clone smells just as good as French Defense. And there's a lot of clones of French Defense. In fact, French Defense is the first fragrance from Mind Games that everybody started cloning. I think Dua has one, Alexandria has one, Lattafa now has one, I think Fragrance World has one, and they're all phenomenal. French Defense is the only fragrance in Mind Games cloned right now. So you don't need it. What are your thoughts on solid perfumes in comparison to liquid that have you used? You know, when it comes to oils and water base and different stuff like that, it's really a unresearched, that's wrong. Most people in perfumery have not researched and done great comparing research in that place. The only people who really ever research it out are people who don't react well to fragrances. So then they get into oils or water base and they find what works for them. But I wouldn't really say that that creates good information for the world because it's so personal to why that person got into that in the first place. I think going into water base and oil base and all that stuff is a personal journey. And once we kind of have more stories about it, we can kind of compile some real objective information about it. Lattafa Vintage Radio is a clone of Paragon from Initio, and it's very good. It's Palo Santo wood and plum. I am a dad. I'm a dad of 2. Recently got Dunhill Desire. Okay, what's the best cologne for the money? Anything from those top 5 designers I named earlier. Do you still like Creed Original Vetiver? I'm really dissatisfied with Creed. Creed keeps making their water more diluted. They keep making their bottle presentation cheaper, and they keep driving their prices up. 3 things that are getting to the point where I almost never want to recommend a Creed fragrance ever again. And truthfully, with the clone game where it is, you never really have to buy a Creed fragrance ever. Let's see. Okay. Nimish, those are great options, buddy. What's your most expensive and cheapest fragrance? Most expensive, probably Diaghilev. Cheapest fragrance, probably a Banana Republic. Invictus is extremely synthetic for me. Me too. You want an Invictus style fragrance that smells natural, has great performance? Banana Republic Arctic Slate. Not Slate, Slate Arctic. That's an Invictus style DNA. That's really good. You can also go with Hawass Original or Saucy Hawass Original. That's another Invictus style DNA. I mean, shoot, Nautica Voyage Blue, or Nautica Voyage is another Invictus style. Invictus style is probably one of the most copied styles. Are you a fan of Slumber House? Haven't tried them yet. What do you think of Dunhill Desire Red? Haven't tried it yet. Top 3 imaginary authors. I don't have a top 3 yet. But one thing I know for sure is slow explosions is number 1. Slow explosions is Tom Ford Oud Wood soaked in red wine and red sangria. You wouldn't think that would be crazy, but it is, and you can wear this every day, and I get mad compliments from this fragrance right here. And honestly, if you look it up online, you could probably snag it up for like 70 to 100 bucks. I think the lowest I've seen it is 70 on like Olfactive or something. This right here, when you have a fragrance like this, nothing on any of these racks, top to bottom, nothing on these racks smells even close to a fragrance like this. That's what it's about. It's about being able to have fragrances that are transportive, that smell like nothing else in you. Oh my gosh. If I would have broke this, oh my gosh, we would have ended stream immediately. Hydration is a variable. Do you have Tarathi Blue? I do, but I'm not gonna go get it because Tarathi Blue, that little bugger, was responsible for my last fragrance fall. Because they built that thing like a fat kid up top and a skinny man below, you know, with 2 little pencil legs. What do you think about Parfums de Marly Layton? I think you shouldn't buy Layton. Layton is not worth the money, and this is a designer fragrance that smells just like it but better. Lalique White and Black. Take a screenshot of it. It's only $20 to $25 for 100 ml. This smells like Layton but better. You can Google it. You can YouTube it. I don't know why people don't talk about this. This beats Detour Noir. This beats the Al Haramain. This is the best one. Just trust me. Trust me on this channel. There's a reason the chat is always crazy, because people trust what I say. Solid everyday banger that gives sex appeal, feels masculine throughout the life of the scent. Sex appeal and masculinity are in some ways contradictory, because sex appeal is subjective, but in perfumery, it mostly pushes a fragrance to be slightly or very sweet. So then when you want masculine, masculine is typically aromatic, earthy, woody, fougere, you know what I'm saying? It's counterproductive. So the fragrance that is both masculine but has sex appeal, to me, would be a fragrance that the sex appeal side of it would be slightly sweet. The masculine side of it would be a hybrid. You wouldn't be an all sweet fragrance, and you also wouldn't be an all masculine fragrance. However, women find many things sexy. Slightly sweet, slightly rough edge, like a Dior Sauvage. Something completely masculine with no sweetness at all. Some women want their men to smell like they're not a single bone in their body is soft. Okay? So if I'm recommending you a fragrance that is slightly sweet, slightly masculine, I'd recommend you something like Givenchy's Boisé Gentleman. I would recommend, and again, these are designers. I'm not going to go niche. That way other people can tap into these scents. If you want something that is masculine driven with no sweetness, you can go with something like Gucci Guilty Elixir. If you go with something that's kind of in the middle, masculine and slightly sweet, you could go with something like Dior Sauvage, Versace Eros. You could go with Valentino Uomo Intense, something like that. If you want to go something sweet driven but has some safety net masculinity behind it, you can go Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privé. You could go Dior Homme Parfum 2025. You could go Tom Ford Noir Extreme. You could go Spice Bomb Extreme, Spice Bomb Infrared. On the straight masculine side, you could go Dior Homme Cologne. You could go Aventus Cologne. You could go Platinum Egoise or Egoise. On the middle of the road, masculine and slight sweet, you could go Chanel Allure Homme Sport. You could go like Prada Black. You could go Prada Luna Rossa Ocean. There's a bunch of options, man. Okay. I miss Gucci Pour Homme that got discontinued. Don't miss it too much. There's a ton of options out there. I don't have Mango Ice, but if you want really good mango fragrances, you can go God of Fire. You could go the Clone Vulcan Fue. You can go Day 3 Bonnie from Day 3 Fragrances. Bonnie is a great mango. You can also go Velheim Mango Skin or Velhelm. I honestly think the only 3 mango fragrances you should be concerned with is Velhelm, Mango Skin. 4. I'm gonna have to sign off soon, guys. Let these herbs work. There we go. See, every time I take a drink of the herbs, it tailors back out. Okay, so 4 mango fragrances. Xerjoff Herba Gold. That's your niche mango. Day 3 Bonnie. That's your fresh, slightly tropical, slight coconutty mango. Vulcan Fue or God of Fire is like heavy mango, but not quite herba pura. It's got way more character. What was the other mango? Velhelm Mango Skin is literally just juicy as hell mango skin. Very good. It's slightly, I don't know if it's creamy as much as it is like velvety. Like just think real mango skin. It's kind of velvety. It's juicy. It's lush. You know, like when you bite into a mango. Those are the only 4 mango-driven fragrances that I think are worth your time. What if it's loaded with something like patchouli? Have you tried YSL Tuxedo? No need to own Tuxedo. Arabiat Al Oud. Kix or Joel, if you're still in the chat, please type out for people in here the Arabiat Al Oud or whatever the heck the name of that fragrance is that I always say beats out YSL Tuxedo today. The fragrance that Joel or Kix types out is, I think, like a $30 fragrance that absolutely annihilates Tuxedo to me, and it annihilates, Tarathi Brown, Maison Alhambra, Kismet, any of the clones you would get of it as well. And the reason I think it beats the original Tuxedo is because it's ramped up in patchouli, so it just feels like way more of an expensive scent. The first time Kix sent it to me, I lost my mind, and he'll tell you. Which one do you think is better, the EDP of Narcotique or the Extrait? 100% the Extrait. I didn't even know there was an Extrait. I saw, what the heck's the girl's name? What is her freaking name? Some girl that I follow and I watch her content, she was doing a top 10 list and she had a Flor Narcotique Extrait. Anytime you have a Ex Nihilo fragrance, if they have an Extrait, get it. I'm a little jealous that she had it and I didn't even know, but I'm okay with mine too. You know, I'm okay with what I have. I'm looking, guys. What's your favorite fragrance with a whiskey note? Oh, my favorite fragrance with a whiskey note is Nasomato's Baronda. I think it's Baronda, Baronda from Nasomato. Nasomato. Nassomoto. Nasomato Baronda. It's whiskey and rose, and it smells insane. I think I paid
$32 for a 5 ml. Or no, for like a 3 ml. Yeah, that's what it was. I paid $32 for a 3 ml. Equus EDT or EDP? I'll be honest, Ryan. I think I have the EDT, but no, I have the eau de parfum. Even if I had the EDP, I would tell you to get, or the EDT, I would tell you to get the EDP because you're going to get more performance. And this is a lighter scent, so you're going to be spraying yourself like 6 to 10 times, depending on if you're outdoors or if you're indoors, you're going to go like 4 to 6 sprays. If you're outdoor, you're going to go 6 to 10 because the wind is just going to rush through it. But I would get the EDP 100%. You are going to wear this scent every single day if you'd like. You know, this could go toe to toe to me with something like Aqua di Gio Profondo, those type of everyday wears, Chanel, Blue de Chanel, anything that's like everyday wear for you. This just smells like a heavy amber, so it's warm. It's got grapefruit behind it, so you have this kind of tart citrus, but the tart from the citrus kind of champagnes out the amber, so it's almost like a heavy, warm amber, white champagne soaked with some grapefruit in it. I mean, it is just, it's vibrant, it's uplifting. Women love it. It's not super loud, but it's loud enough. Like you could easily get 3 to 4 feet of projection in this. But it's a smooth killer, man. But it just, when you catch wafts of it, makes you feel so invigorated. It's masculine. It's a little bit playful because of the grapefruit, but most fresh fragrances are. But that amber and that kind of champagne-ness to it is super masculine. Like, I know 40, 50-year-old men who wear this fragrance all the time. So I love it because a young guy could rock this like Profondo, but an old man could wear this and feel like an older man's take on like a ambery Blue de Chanel type of feel. And it's so cheap, man. For how cheap this fragrance is, you should get 100 ml of this and just nuke yourself with it every day. I don't think it ever gets old to me. Like, I've been wearing this fragrance for like 2 years, and every time I put it on, it just makes me happy. Like, I feel like a man. I feel like I have a signature everyday scent that nobody else has. It has some of my favorite notes in it: grapefruit, amber, and vetiver. Don't worry that I said vetiver. You won't smell a distinct note of vetiver, but vetiver always makes a fragrance smell fancy when it's tucked in the back. So you get all those touches, man. For a designer, it's a designer fragrance with a clone price. I mean, it's ridiculous. I could sell that fragrance. If you want to know a niche fragrance that this smells like a warm take on Mancera's Amberful. Amberful is another beautiful scent. It does last a little bit longer than this. So if you want this profile, but slightly less warm, a little bit colder, but everyday wear, like an everyday wear incredible amber, Mancera's Amberful, to me, is the best, most versatile Mancera fragrance out of all of them. I love Vetiver Sensual. I like Instant Crush. I like Lemon Oud Mint. Amora Cafe is okay. I like Jardin Exclusive. I like Pearl. Cedrat Bosé is cool. Red Tobacco, I hate. There's French Riviera is cool. Tonka Cola, okay. There's a lot of great fragrances in Mancera. I think Amberful is the only super blind buy worthy, meaning like I could give it to 100 people. All of them will love Amberful. But Amberful is going to be like $70 to $120, whereas this is only $25. So you buy this, and it's a hot weather version, meaning you can wear it year round and it'll hold up in the high heat. And then you get Amberful as the upgrade when you want to push the performance of this and smell a little bit more luxurious. But I would own both. And I do carry a 5 ml of Amberful. Shout outs to Gator for sending that to me. But honestly, I don't think Equus to me will go down in history as top 20 best designer scents of all time. And currently it probably sits in like my top 8. It is just timeless, man. It's so timeless. Lalique is one of the most slept on houses. That's why it's one of the only designers I have every fragrance for, minus Indigo. Okay, Everyday signature scent is tough. Depends on where you live. Four Seasons makes a huge difference. Okay. I agree a little bit. Do you like 1 Million Lucky? Yeah, I think Lucky and Elixir and Parfum are really good go-tos. Lucky is very slept on right now. What do you think about Creed Silver Mountain Water? Don't get it. It's a really good fragrance, but this is all you need. If you want a perfect 10 out of 10 clone of Creed Silver Mountain Water, I know there's a lot out there, but this one easily stands out. Offnon Supremacy in Heaven. Can you see it? There we go. Offnon Supremacy in Heaven. That right there, I've smelled a lot of Silver Mountain clones, and I only recommend two. If you want the realest smelling Silver Mountain Water clone, get this. This is 2 sprays all day performance. Incredibly accurate. What are we talking with Silver Mountain Water? We're talking citrus, black tea, black currant, and kind of like a rainwater metallic. This is incredible. I just wore this last week and I was like, gosh, this smells more like Silver Mountain Water than Silver Mountain Water. Because again, Creed keeps knocking down their formula and diluting their fragrances. So it's not even worth it to buy actual Silver Mountain Water in 2025 because it smells less like how it used to smell. Another fragrance, and it's the only other fragrance I'll recommend, is Club de Nuit Sillage. Sillage smells more like Silver Mountain Water than today's formulation of Silver Mountain Water, which is crazy. But it's got a more inky, black ink vibe to the metallic. So to me, it's not as, it is technically accurate because I just told you it smells better than actual Silver Mountain Water. But if you compared Sillage, Club de Nuit Sillage to Offnon Supremacy in Heaven, Heaven has an upper edge on it. They're just 2 slightly different styles, but either one of those is great. Offnon Supremacy in Heaven's 25 to 30 bucks. Club de Nuit Sillage is like 20, 25 bucks. Both of them are incredible. Are there any clones of 1 Million Lucky that give it better projection? Yes, go on YouTube and type 1 Million Lucky clone. You'll find like 2 great ones. You ever tried Flower Edition yet? No, because they already made a clone of Flower Edition that is awesome. Have you ever had your nose on Jupe Go, the green juice? No, that's a really old fragrance, I believe. What's your opinion on Hugo Boss Bottled Absolute? It's great. I give it about an 8 or a 9 out of 10. Hugo Boss Bottled Absolute, Magnetic, and Boss Bottled Elixir, top 3. Appreciate your expertise. Have a like. Thank you, Philip. Hey, listen, we drop reviews every single day. We drop videos 2 to 3 times a day, every single day. I've only been out for about a year is when I started, and I uploaded videos every single day since. I don't talk about anything I don't own. I carry about somewhere between 200 and 300 bottles. In terms of decants, I have up to 500 fragrances. I was just in Neiman Marcus yesterday. I go to all the rack stores, all the retailers, and all of the niche retailers, and I just now have been shopping independent niche for quite a while, which is why we added all these new shelves, because we got a lot more niche fragrances now that we're transitioning into that season of things. So I'm around fragrance all the time. I don't talk about things I don't carry. And, we're about to crack our first 1 million views on the channel. So I don't need money. I don't need fame or anything like that. I just am putting a camera to my own fragrance journey and hoping it helps you guys out. My homegirl said she could still catch a whiff hours later, so I might be me, or I'm just going to go nose blind. Going nose blind to fragrances is actually really easy. What do you think about Cupids? I haven't put my nose to Cupids in a while. Virgin Island water is my go-to for summer. Hey, listen, Virgin Island water smells amazing, but the performance is absolute trash. I mean, universally, Virgin Island water might be one of the most worst performing creeds out there. So that's the only thing that sucks, is when you're going for that DNA, you get no performance out of it. But, if money is not an issue to you, get it. I think most people, if they're penny pinching and they go buy Virgin Island water, they love the smell. And then once they realize it only has like 3-4 hours of performance at max, they might feel some type of way about that. But I wouldn't. It's just, for me, in the Virgin Island water DNA, I might go something like Isola Blue or Isola Soul from Roja. Shoot, even a Day 3 Bonnie would go crazy, or Del Mar. I like Isola Soul or Oceania, but uh I'm not hating, man. Virgin Island water smells amazing. I just really hate that they keep diluting it down. On Fragrantica, people say Kamarakawa has a very loud presence in sillage. Do you agree? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, 2 sprays of Kawa will last all day. You know, all day. All day. 2 sprays of Kawa, I'm telling you. 2 sprays of Kawa will go all day. All day. If you dare spray 3 or more than 3 sprays on you of Kawa, you will be pissed. You'll be mad. It is smooth, it is nice, but it is rich as crap. Spraying Kamarakawa on you is like putting Oud for Glory on or something like that. I mean, it is monstrous. But I like that because this DNA will last forever. You know, 2 sprays. 2 sprays is beautiful. Okay, hey, have you tried Tarathi Electric? Nope, it just came out. So I let all my friends in here who have tried it, like Joel and Kix and all that. I just trust them. There's a clone brand dupe, big name designer of some niche frags that you can get 3 mLs, 20 mLs for 80. They claim it lasts 12 hours. Probably Yam and Lail. Jaw dropped when you dropped your Slow Explosions bottle. Yeah, mine too. Mine too, trust me. Okay, best Killian. Do you recommend Javoy samples? 100%. Javoy, the Javoy kit. Let me look. Where is my Javoy set? Oh, my Javoy set is like half open, guys. Because I'm still actively finishing my Javoy review. But Javoy has a 16 2ml set for like 65 bucks. Javoy is the best discovery set I've ever smelled. So if you want Scent Bubbles recommendation on like a niche discovery set that will transport you to another planet, spend the money and buy it. I mean, it's just incredible. Best Killians. I don't have a ranking system on Killian yet, but Angel Share is great. I almost said Maj Mule. Blue Moon Ginger Dash is great. Straight to Heaven is great. Love Don't Be Shy is great. Black Phantom is great. Yeah, there's some you could try. What's the best Silver Mountain Water clone? Afnan Supremacy in Heaven or Club de Nuit Sillage? Opinions on Aqua de Geo Parfum. Get Latafa Sacrat for $20 on Amazon. What was that clone of Leighton called? Lalique White and Black. Honestly, guys, if I ever am fastly saying a fragrance on this channel, don't worry. All you gotta do is hit the rewind button. Even now, while I'm live, you can hit the rewind button and go watch what I said, and then hit skip to live, and it'll take you back to me live. Or you could just wait till the stream's over and watch it back the next day. I was just talking to Kix about this like a week ago. A lot of people rewatch this live. It's crazy. So many people who can't catch the lives will rewatch it back because it's all valuable info. Yeah, that's unfortunate, Scott. And by the way, thanks, Scott, for sending me that stuff. I don't have it yet, but I still remember that you did that. Thank you so much. Have you tried anything from the Dior private line? You would have to say the name of the fragrance. I don't recall. My favorite frag is Creed Absolute Aventus. Do you like it? I love it. But to be honest, I don't feel like you need to buy Absolute Aventus when you have Per Show 1. You know, 40 bucks gets you Aventus Absolute these days. But if there was one fragrance I would buy from Creed, Absolute Aventus would probably be in the top 3. I've been wearing Armani Code for 20 years. Any thoughts? Get Armani Code Absolute. It's better. But, I mean, if you're wearing Armani Code, it's like wearing Blue de Chanel, basically. I like a man that smells like he wears a suit every day, not overpowering. I want him to wear like a confidence cologne. Creed Aventus Absolute. Aventus cologne, Dior cologne. My favorite Tux fragrance is Tom Ford Grey Vetiver EDP. To me, I see, um, what the heck's the guy's name? Yeah, this is James Bond in a gray Jaguar with white interior. He just blew the whole yacht up, and he's driving off into the sunset in a gray Jaguar, tuxed out. You know, Tom Ford Grey Vetiver. I would wear that with a suit. But that's smooth criminal tuxedo dress right there. If I'm being aggressive, like beastly confident, I'm going Aventus Absolute. Diaghilev is a little crazy. You know, that is like Russian president level right there. Um, can we go Harrods? Harrods as well. Roja Parfums Harrods is really nice. If we can even go designer, guys. Like super confident man. Jimmy Choo man is really nice. I think that as a designer is super slept on for a really confident man who has some complexity to him, but just has that assertive confidence and character. I think for a confident man, the fragrance should be bold, but not screaming. Bold means it's got a good scent projection, but it's not screaming across the room. It's just like 3 feet of projection that walks with the guy. Wherever he goes, he leaves it behind. Whoever new he encounter. It's a bold scent that you can tell this man is wearing a fragrance. So that's where the confidence factor comes in. But then the complexity and the ratio and how the blend is. A bold fragrance still has to be smooth. That means when it hits your nostrils, you should go, ah, not whoa. If the fragrance is too whoa, that's not a confident fragrance. That's a terribly made fragrance. A confident masculine fragrance should literally, the moment you inhale it, intoxicate you and shift your mood and your personality. Like it throws you off. But I find loud, horrible blends are more like, what? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, any of those scents I recommended are very confident fragrances. Oud for Greatness for cold weather. Smooth criminal. Tom Ford Oud Wood, smooth criminal. Tobacco Oud, smooth criminal. What else? Chanel Coral Mandel. Oh my gosh. You want to talk about my top 3 most gentleman masculine scents. And when I say gentleman, I don't mean fougere. I don't mean old school. I don't mean barbershop. I'm talking about in 2025, if you want to smell like not only are you a confident man, but you are a sexy man, and oh my gosh, there's not enough I can say about this fragrance. Chanel exclusive Coral Mandel is sex appeal in a bottle in a non-bachelor way. There's a difference between sexy bachelor, I'm looking for all the chicks, I'm spraying everything down, I'm pissing on every tree. That's not confidence. That's man whore. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about just sexy because what you're bringing to the table is so smooth to the nose, so confident. It has the complexity of just finesse and just whoo, 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 whoo. It has a silhouette to it, so it's highly signature. Chanel Coral Mandel will go down in history as my top 5 best gentleman scents, period. Gosh, man, I need to do a top 10 gentleman scent. And I don't mean gentleman top hat. I mean in 2025, what screams confident, classy, masculine in a bottle? And that's not some piss on a tree alpha male type stuff. It's just robust, confident signature scent that is so smoothly blended. Another example of this, Nishane Ani. I love, it is a luxurious, champagne elegant vanilla scent where the vanilla is not forward. It's like 30-40%. And then wrapped all in front of it is upscale class and luxury. I could do a master class on masculine scents, to be honest. That's what I love. You know, I'm 36. So I find a lot of the sexy masculine scents today, the world is kind of reaching for super sweet scents. And to me, by definition, a super masculine man can't be overly sweet. That doesn't make any sense. Sweet is soft, and I don't mean masculine or feminine. I mean the way a sweet scent comes off. It's like a type of smell. It's never a, you don't smell vanilla and become afraid or intimidated like, who's in the room? You smell sweet and you're like, you walk towards it. So but yet again, when you look at all these scents that people go after as masculine scents, a lot of them are so vanillic, it's insane. So I don't even, that fundamentally just doesn't gel with my understanding of masculine. I don't think masculine has to be some aromatic, woody, like burly beard kind of scent either. But I think sweetness now becomes a background supporting element to masculine touches. Woods, aromatics, maybe slight citrus, aquatics, mineral, some incense. You know, anything you're playing with, the sweetness has to be in the background. You can also go with a super dry masculine scent, but I think the perfect 2025 masculine scent is a scent where you lead in aquatic, herbal, incense, woody, citric, not vanillic, resinous, green, earthy, all in the front. And then 20-30% in the back is tucked with sweetness. So sweet just allows all the notes to project, and then you just have all this character in front of it. That to me is the perfect fragrance. And there's a lot of great fragrances that do that. So that question just made me realize I need to do, like, in 2025, what are the top 20 most masculine, perfectly blended masculine scents? We'll do a 5-minute opener on what I think classifies a masculine scent, where I think they go wrong today, and then we'll just hit a top 20 list. So thank you for that question. Arabiat Nael Oud, that's the best tuxedo clone. Speak of a masculine scent. Get that one. Have you tried Tarat the Electric? I haven't yet. There's so many cheap fragrances that smell high-end. There are. It's a crime how many don't get talked about. Ah, what is that? What is it? What's that song? Arigato. Have you ever tried Bulgari Port Homme Soir? It's discontinued, almost impossible to get a legit bottle. I have not. To me, it's crazy. I smelled every Bulgari besides the discontinueds at Neiman's months ago. Even yesterday, I tried some of the Bulgari. Bulgari Man in Black, to me, is really just the epitome of all the Bulgari fragrances. This is Prada Black better. This is Tom Ford Black Orchid better. A slightly dark. When you talk about a man in a black tuxedo, The Great Gatsby, Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Cruise in whatever movie Tom Cruise is kicking butt in, freaking James Bond, Casino Royale, right? What are some other just luxury men? That sounded crazy. Catch Me If You Can, Ocean's 11, right? Just mystery men that are super sex appealing. This is that fragrance. It's slightly dark. It's sophisticated. The sweetness is a support. The complexity in the front, the patchouli with the earthiness comes across slightly velvety and chocolatey, but super earthy. So it's not chocolate sweet. This is more like cacao. This is crazy. I don't know why more people don't buy this fragrance. It's really a dang shame. And I'm realizing it's already 12:15 in Arizona, so we're gonna have to sign off soon. You guys are lucky, man. The only reason I go live is for you guys. And the only reason I stay live is because you guys have questions. So you gotta understand, I lost my voice completely on vacation. I drank my herbs, my voice was straight. Now it's gone again. But we will get it back. We will get it back. Okay. This fragrance, oh, guys, men, let me tell you this. All my men out there, if you want a highly signature, smooth criminal night scent, any time of night, theater, ballroom, lounge, nightclub, my younger guys out there, prom, my college guys out there. Well, college guys don't really be taking girls out. Restaurant, a play, anything at night where you need to get the woman of your dreams or keep the woman of your dreams. This is it. Even if you're not pursuing a lady, but you're at a black tie event, this is so good. If you have Prada Black, throw it away, get this. If you have Tom Ford Black Orchid EDP, throw it away, get this. This is the black tie fragrance that everybody should have in their collection. Okay, let me move on, guys. Any recommendations for my 15-year-old son? I'm so sorry. If you're not in here still, I apologize. These two fragrances right here will get your 15-year-old son through any season of life, and he will be in love with it, and he will use it for whatever. When you're a 15-year-old kid, what do? You go to school all day. Maybe you play a sport. Maybe you're in a club. You have PE. You have your classes. You have your lunch with your friends. You have your after-school stuff if you're in anything, so you got sports or whatever. Maybe if you're a young kid, you hang out and do kickbacks with your friends. Then you're with your family. You know, maybe you go to restaurants. Maybe you have a girlfriend, whatever. This right here really can't be messed with. I don't care. You go into a Sephora Ulta Beauty. I don't care what you experience. You have this. This is the most complimented men's fragrance by women back to back to back every year. What I love about it in terms of versatility is it smells elegant. So for a young boy wearing this, he will feel like he's wearing something expensive, right? So it's that boy who's becoming a man. He'll feel that sense of, man, I smell good. But also, it's not like Bleu de Chanel, because see, I could say wear Bleu de Chanel and he will think that that smells good, because it does. This is like the second or third most complimented men's fragrance in the designer world. But the problem with Bleu de Chanel is if he has a girl that he likes, yeah, they'll like him because he smells like a classy young man, but there's no sweetness. So the reason why kids love Eros more, Versace Eros, there's eau de toilette, eau de parfum, and parfum. Ignore all of them and just go online anywhere. You can Google Versace Eros EDT. I'll let you screenshot it. Hopefully you're still in the chat. Versace Eros EDT, eau de toilette. You don't need to worry about eau de toilette. Just screenshot that. The reason I'm telling you to get the eau de toilette is because the eau de toilette will last forever on his skin. He puts a couple sprays on, 10 hours plus, so that's getting him through school, any club, if he's in chess club or he plays basketball, it doesn't matter. Yet, because it has a little bit of sweetness in it, this is slight vanilla, slight green crisp apple, a little bit of mint in it. Boys love this fragrance. Young men love this fragrance. This is just, it lasts all day. I say get the eau de toilette because for $35 online, you can get a big 100 milliliter bottle of this, and he will wear it every day for any occasion. The slight sweetness in it will double for if he ever goes on a date or if he ever goes to prom, but the freshness, the crisp green apple, the slight vanilla, and the mint will make him just smell super fresh for classes, clubs, sports, at home. It's just a great scent, timeless scent. It's the most complimented scent by women in the designer field, as they would want their men or their kids to wear this. And the eau de toilette is the cheapest. If you go with eau de parfum or parfum, they all smell virtually the same. The EDP is more longevity, but at the end of the day, do you need more than 10 hours of longevity? The parfum is the best smelling, but for the eau de parfum and the parfum, you're going to pay $50 to $150 for those bottles. Whereas the eau de toilette, because it's been out the longest, you can get it online for $35 to $40 for a bottle double this size. It's an amazing fragrance for a 15-year-old. Without question, he will smell better than most kids. Has anyone tried Cod Lodge Cafe Latte? Looks interesting. I haven't. How's the performance on Amora Cafe? 10, 12 hours plus. I don't think you need Amora Cafe for Mancera because you have Kawa, but some people, most women that smell Amora Cafe say that they love the smell of it, but they wouldn't want their man to smell it. Have you smelled Montclair Sunrise? I have. It's a really good fragrance. I prefer Montclair's La Corday, which you can get on Joma Shop for $70 to $100 for 120 ml. It's honey lemon tea. But Montclair Sunrise is a great fragrance. Most people get introduced to Montclair by Sunrise. You'd have to give me a little more descriptor, fantastic. What true cologne do you, what true cologne? What true cologne? Do you mean like eau de cologne? When you hear them say cologne, it's a perfume, not a cologne. Well, it depends. Do you mean eau de colognes? Because most people don't wear eau de colognes today. I mean, you could get like a Joe Malone or a Chanel Original, but most fragrances today aren't eau de colognes. They've moved on to eau de toilette, eau de parfum, parfum extraits, etc. Fantastic. I need a little more descriptor. Most cologne fragrances are eau de parfum. Most cologne fragrances are eau de parfum. We're just talking about semantics here. Really, it just comes down to concentration. Eau de cologne, eau de toilette, eau de parfum, parfum, extrait. And then you have all these like fluff words that don't mean anything. You know, absolute, elixir, intense. You know, I did a whole video on this. Go look it up on my channel. I did a whole video on all the word salad that people do. But here's the thing. People's perception of eau de cologne, eau de toilette, eau de parfum, parfum extrait is even wrong as well, because you can have an eau de toilette that beats it. All that those mean is the concentration of oil goes up. So as you get to parfum and extrait, the oil concentration to alcohol goes up, which would make you think in theory that the fragrance should last longer. And normally it does in theory, but there's so many exceptions to the rule. For instance, Versace Eros is an eau de toilette in the one I carry. I was just telling the young lady who has a son, you don't need the eau de parfum or the parfum. Now on paper, eau de parfum and parfum has higher concentrate, right? This eau de toilette is 10 hours plus. So if you're going with the whole concentration theory, you might never want an eau de toilette because you think it's weaker, and that's never the case. Or not never the case, but many times it's not the case. So honestly, at the end of the day, just know this. Eau de colognes and eau de toilettes are generally cheaper because they are the first to come out. A fragrance house will normally drop an eau de toilette before they ever move to eau de parfum, parfum extrait, whatever. And a lot of times with a fragrance, the more the more concentrates they release, it's just a money grab, guys. Like here's a great example, right? If somebody goes to me and says, yo, Scent Bubble, you have an eau de toilette of Eros. My Eros EDP lasts 2 hours longer. You know what I'm going to say? No, it doesn't. And then they go, watch. Okay, put your arm out. And they're going to spray mine and spray his. And we're going to hold our wrists out, right? Hypothetically, we hold our wrists out for 10 hours. And then at the 10-hour mark, we go to smell my arrows and it's gone. And his arrows still smell strong. And he's going to go, see, look, Scent Bubble. My fragrance is going past yours in performance for 2 hours. And I'm going to go, no, it's not. He's going to go, what do you mean? I'm going to go, watch. Now my fragrance is going to go another 10 hours. Like, you see how dumb the argument is? You just spray it again. Talking about longevity oftentimes is ridiculous. You could spray the fragrance again. People talk about longevity like they can't spray themselves again. And when you know about fragrances that have openings and transition to dry downs, like, it's fun to respray a fragrance sometimes because you get to re-experience the opening and the transition into the dry down. And the opening is never what you get in the dry down sometimes. Do you have any clone suggestions for imagination? Yeah. I'm only going to say this once, guys. Any of you guys who want Louis Vuitton imagination for the low, trust and believe there are an insane amount of Louis Vuitton imagination clones out there. Right now, currently, and I better get my likes up. 3 dots right here or right here. Click the 3 dots and hit like because I'm about to drop supreme game. Any of you guys that came in here and said, I want Louis Vuitton imagination, but you don't want to pay $300 to $500 for it. I know all the imagination clones out there, all the important ones. And the main ones you're going to hear about today is, Game of Spades version. You're going to hear about Aqua Dubai. Those are the main 2 right now that you're going to hear the most about. And then you're going to hear a sprinkling of Alexandria and Dua and all these people coming in. Or Intimation is another one's name that's ringing off. Ignore all of it. Because as good as any of those are, and I've smelled like 10 imagination clones at this point, and mind you, before we get into what I'm about to drop, and again, run those likes up because anyone looking for imagination ever in their life from Louis Vuitton will settle this every single time. This right here is a travel decant of imagination. Imagination isn't really my tea, but it's the #1 search term on YouTube, so I provide this content for people, right? What does that say? What does that say, guys? Okay? So we can solve this. I have imagination, so I can talk about imagination. By the way, guys, thank you for running those likes up. I really appreciate that. And I'm going to give you guys what you're looking for because you did that. So I have imagination. I can speak on imagination. I have all the premier clones of it. And it blows my mind that in 2025, nobody's telling you the right clone to get. What do I mean by right? I mean great performance, doesn't smell synthetic, matches the DNA perfectly, and just is better than the rest. And that is this fragrance right here. Take a screenshot of this, guys. I'm going to show you this right here. Ard Al Zafaran. That's the name. The name of the fragrance is Sahib Intense. You see that? Sahib Intense. Now, as ridiculous as this fragrance looks, right? As ridiculous as this fragrance looks, guys, look, I get it. Some of you guys just need to have a cool looking bottle, right? Some of you guys are like, okay, you lost me because when I have fragrances on my shelf, I need them to look like this, right? So automatically you're like, whatever. Okay. Listen, a lot of the LV clones are okay. But if you want to know the best clone, meaning a lot of the clones of LV smell just like it, but have terrible performance. Or they have great performance, but don't really smell like imagination. We've got imagination right there. I'm not going to keep wasting the juice, guys, because people ask this every night. Every time I go live, they ask for an LV imagination clone. So I'm not just going to keep milking my travel spray for the purpose of repeating old information. But again, Sahib Intense. Sahib Intense. Yes, it's a smaller bottle. You get like 70 ml. Who the heck cares, guys? You pay like 30, 40 bucks for this. You have imagination to a T. To a T. The citrus basket, the aquatic feel, the longevity. You like, guys, people follow me specifically for recommendations. Specifically because they know I don't make any money. I'm not an affiliate. Okay? I'm not an affiliate. I don't work for anybody. Nobody sends me stuff other than my supporters. My supporters send me a lot of fragrances. Shout out Kicks. Shout out Scott. Shout out Greenlee. Shout out Gator for always sending me new scents to try for the channel. And then you guys know, due to my collection, I ball hard and go crazy and buy discovery sets for you guys to kick game to you. But that's the best imagination clone, guys, without question. Now, is Aqua Dubai great? Phenomenal. Is Wildcard great? Phenomenal. Does it beat Sahib Intense? No, because it either smells great and doesn't have the performance, or it has the performance and isn't imagination. This is all of that. And it macerates incredibly. The more time that goes on, it just gets smoother. Out the box, it's smooth, but it just gets smoother and smoother and smoother. 30, 40 bucks, guys. You can have imagination right now. Okay, I'm going to fly through chat because my voice is pretty much gone. It's cash, okay? What's the clone of Flower Edition? Look it up on YouTube. What are some slept-on brands? I feel like Hype Cologne at Baccarat and Creed. Designer slept-on brands are going to be Ferragamo, Lalique, and Bentley. In the niche world, some slept-on brands to me, Chanel exclusive line is very slept on. Independent niche houses are also slept on. Things like Imaginary Authors, Javoy. Yeah, Chanel exclusive, Imaginary Authors, Diptyque, Javoy. Try those out. There's a lot, man. There's a lot. When it comes to independent niche, there's just hundreds of houses. Day 3, that's another one. Day 3 fragrances. What's good? Inexpensive Virgin Island water alternative. There isn't a good Virgin Island water to me that has good longevity, but I think if you look for try Sensual Obsessions or Kingsgate, I'm sure they make a Virgin Island water that has great longevity, but I don't have one I can co-sign yet. I will have a Virgin Island water clone that has longevity this year, I promise you. Where did you get your set from? What set? This set comes from all over the world. Where else can I buy a Tigar? Often on Tarathi Blue online. Often on Tarathi Blue is really the only thing you should buy. It's the most sold clone of Tigar. It costs 20 bucks. I got my Tarathi Blue down there for $11 on TikTok Shop. Throwing this out there. Smelled this on my little brother. Get a room. Confessions of a something. Only Confessions fragrance I know is Confessions of a Trespasser, I think, from Imaginary Authors. Never heard of it. Naxos is a smooth criminal. Naxos is good. Naxos is very good. You killed somebody, yet have a date. What smell are you going for? I don't even know if that setup was necessary because you killed somebody, but you have a date. What would either of those contextually help you out with? How would the fact that you killed somebody change what you would wear on the date? I have no answer. Find a fragrance that you think personally would be smooth, that would smooth the brain in a way that doesn't hit hard or strong. Don't understand that. So why do women's fragrances just hit that switch for me? I don't know, because you're a switchy type of guy. Whiskey Royale Salute. Okay. Is something wrong with me or is it the fragrance? Both. Do you have any female perfumes? Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't carry a lot of them, but there are a lot of women on my channel that aren't just looking for fragrances for their boyfriend or their husband or their kid. So, I have a top I have a top 25 designers for women right here. My wife, I buy fragrances for my wife, so she has a couple that I would recommend to you guys. I do have a lot of unisex fragrances, so that a lot of women do. Women are starting to increase here on the scent bubble because it used to be like 3%. Now I think it's almost 20% of my channel is women. So I'm going to start doing some surveys and polls to figure out why women are following my channel. Is it for the unisex fragrances I talk about? Is it because I'm slowly starting to talk about more women's scents? Is it because you're looking to shop for your son or your husband? I want to know this information so we can tap in because a lot more women are watching this channel, not just the lives. So we're going to figure it out together and we're going to provide women with that value that they're looking for. Another thing I think men aren't doing enough is I think women would value and do value hearing a man's perspective on a fragrance women think smells good on them. And I think the opposite. I think men would like to hear what fragrance, like a woman's perspective on fragrances that are like the top fragrances with men. Like I would love to see more women's takes on Dior Sauvage and Bleu de Chanel and even upgrading into things like Nichane Ani or Instant Crush or, because I think there are a lot of scents that men think smell really good because they sell a lot of bottles, but that women aren't really that interested in. And I would love to hear that perspective. I think women would really value a man's perspective on some of the more popular women's fragrances like YSL Libre and Flower Bomb and this Billie Eilish stuff and this who's the other celeb, this Ariana Grande type stuff. There's just even when we go into the niche world and we talk about Bond number 9 fragrances for women and Initio fragrances and Maison Francis Kurkdjian fragrances and Chanel fragrances and Tom Ford fragrances. I think women would value hearing an educated man's perspective on how men see the fragrance versus how women think they're being perceived with the fragrance. I don't know. I just think that would be valuable content. I know for my channel, as I see more women watching this channel, I'm starting to see that outside of just I'm looking for a fragrance for my man, they actually are coming to see my perspective on the fragrances, and I'm going to look as to why so I can provide better content in that area. But we will talk about more women's fragrances as well. I just dropped like 2 women's reviews recently. Okay, let's see how far I am. Thoughts on Prada L'Homme. Very good fragrance. Ombre Nomad is solid, but it's challenging. The best office fragrance is Tom Ford Grey Vetiver EDP and Lalique Lin Sumi. High Polar. Bulgari Man in Black is fire. It is. Favorite is that Invictus Paco Rabanne. It's good. Tommy Hilfiger, too old school for me. Eros or Sauvage, those are the most complimented. What's your take on Creed Green Irish Tweed? I think Green Irish Tweed is too simple today. But if you do like that DNA, I think you can get away with wearing Armaf Très Nuit. It smells like Green Irish Tweed. You can also get Yaman Lale Green Irish Tweed inspiration for like $40 for 100 ml. It's a very good Green Irish Tweed. I don't think Creed's reformulations of Green Irish Tweed deserve retail price today. Longevity and complexity of scent. There are so many green scents that, we talk about green scents. Armaf Très Nuit or Yaman Lale's Green Irish Tweed will get you Green Irish Tweed. But if you want a Green Irish Tweed style or a green fragrance, there's so many fragrances you can get, man. You got Coach Green. You got Night Vision from Spice Bomb. You have Greenleaf from Parfums de Marly. You have Lafayette Street from Bond number 9. There really is actually a lot. If I actually thought about it and I wasn't brain dead because it's almost 1 a.m., I would be able to tell you. But just run the video back. I'm from New Zealand. My favorite is Calvin Klein Euphoria. Have you tried it? Yeah. I mean, it's a good scent, but it's 2025, man. That fragrance has been out longer than you've been alive. At 15, I was wearing Michael Jordan cologne. Hey, man, listen, go watch my Memoirs of a Fragrance episode. I talk about finding Michael Jordan cologne at the 99-cent store when I was, a little dinosaur. I haven't tried that new Rayhan, so I apologize. I can't speak on that. I have Kate Alferson Untamed. It's nice. It's supposed to be a Najim clone. Yeah, it is pretty solid from what I've... Have you smelled Tales of Zanzibar? Yes, I have. I think it's good. Appreciate it, Mod. Thanks. What's the best smell you like on your lady? Mine has many different smells, but best for me is called Paris Hilton. Honestly, my wife could wear anything, and I wouldn't I wouldn't bat an eye. My wife's stunning. So my wife's latest pickup that I bought for her on Mother's Day was Day 3's Bonnie. Okay. What about Baccarat? Baccarat's good, but you can get Baccarat for 20 bucks today. Is the hype about Creed Aventus real? Yes. I'm 13, and what cologne should I get compliments and smell good and last a while? Versace Eros. The Creed performance sucks though. No, not always. It's per fragrance basis. It's crazy how some cheaper colognes are better smelling. Yes. Absolutely. 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 You're 100% right. I'm flying down the chat right now, guys. What perfume should I get if I only have 120 bucks? I need a little bit more details. Copy that question. Give me a little bit more detail about how many fragrance you have, how old you are, what occasion you're looking for a fragrance for, and put it in the comments of this video, and I'll look back through it later and answer that for you. Yeah, absolutely. People who complain about longevity are proud not to shower for, oh, well, longevity is a good conversation. It's just after you have the conversation, you don't need to really have it anymore. That's my point. Just subscribe to your page. Thanks, Dwayne. I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, when it comes to Dua brand and Alexandria fragrances, 50% of their fragrances suck and 50% of them are awesome. Dwayne, you don't need Creed Aventus Absolute. Just take a screenshot of this. This is $40 Club de Nuit per show one, and that'll get you Absolute Aventus. Same longevity, same complexity, same high compliment factor. You don't need Aventus Absolute. Save your money, buy that, and then save the savings and go buy another expensive fragrance you want. Yeah, I think so, Myers. Absolutely. What do you think of YSL myself? It's the worst YSL fragrance, but it still smells great. I give it a 7 or 8 out of 10. I've heard a lot, and I'm very familiar with the City Rhythms line, but I don't wear those fragrances. City Rhythms, to me, seems like a brand that a lot of young kids get into because young kids will start looking at niche fragrances and independent niche houses, and they don't have a lot of money. So they're very happy to learn about Mancera and City Rhythms and stuff like that because they find that they can get independent niche fragrances for like less than $120. So it's like, oh, I can get niche fragrances for designer prices. Argos it makes great fragrances. There you go. Get Sahib Intense for 30 bucks on Amazon right now. Aaron Terrence Hughes. I have some strong opinions about Aaron Terrence Hughes' fragrances, but I don't think I can speak on them yet. Oof. I would like to speak on them, but I'm not going to yet for reasons I don't want to explain. When it comes to Chanel exclusive for me, I feel that it's better than niche. Niche might be overrated. Here's the thing, man. Chanel is not a niche brand on paper because they make handbags and all that other crap. But to me, they are niche because for a Chanel exclusive fragrance, you're going to pay like $200 for a 75 ml, and you're going to pay like $400 for 150 ml. So that's niche prices. You know what I'm saying? So from a price standpoint, it's niche. It's also niche because the exclusive Chanel's, the Lay exclusive line, which is most of their line, you're not going to find at any retail store other than Neiman Marcus or Chanel. So they are niche to me. Tom Ford is, you know, on paper, again, they're designer, but the difference between Tom Ford is now Sephora's and Ulta Beauties are starting to carry Tom Ford. And I honestly think that that's because in Neiman's and stuff, they're just not selling anymore. You know, they're very McDonald's-y in their iconography and their aesthetic. That conversation doesn't even matter. What do you think about vibrato? Decent. I'm a woman, and it's been the best scent I've ever smelled. Which one, Sadie? Confessions of a Rebel. Okay. Room 1015 Wave Child is very nice. It's a good fragrance, Sadie. It's a good fragrance. I can't find a clone of Flower Bomb Edition. Yeah, you can, TT. You're not looking hard enough. Smelled Chanel Chance Eau Tendre on my date the other night. It was sexy. I haven't put my nose to that in a while, Siaj. Hey, man, any recommendations for a summer fragrance? I mean, it depends. What summer fragrance do you have right now? And I'll give you something to upgrade from. I think right now women are wearing very strong sugary stuff during the summer. In my experience, dude, meaning, you know, I'm 36. I've been married for 15 years. In my experience with my wife in the last 10 years, and my experience with women growing up in college and 20s, right? Just me. So you can't speak on me and my experience, but I'm just giving my experience to you. Women typically prefer two styles of perfumery: natural, angelic scents that are based around florals and earthiness, or very sweet, luxurious scents. And I think the greatest examples of these currently is how popular Baccarat Rouge is, and how popular on the opposite end of that is something like Libre, YSL Libre, something like that, where you get these kind of floral luxury or floral natural and sugar luxury, and sugar as natural as it can get. And Bath and Body Works is really a way to navigate like a top 10 of DNA's women prefer, because you're going to smell things like seasonality scents, you know, vanillas and cinnamons, gourmands, fresh florals, you know, angelic natural stuff, different floral mixes and stuff like that. But again, generally speaking, in my experience, I've only ever smelled women who go after a luxury fragrance, a luxury sweet fragrance, a floral fragrance, or a earthy natural fragrance, and or luxury versions of that, or something clean in any variation of clean luxury, soapy luxury, fresh luxury, tropical luxury, all that type of stuff. So that's changing now because women are getting more into fragrance, and the definition of masculinity and femininity in fragrance is just expanding. So there's just different occasions for different scents, different moods for different scents. Age with women is different. Women aren't all just as traditional anymore, so that changes everything. Some women are bold, some women are soft and ladylike. Then their personality and their hobbies and interests are different now. If you line up 100 women in a room, there's way more variety in that womanhoodness as far as interests in perfumery than I think 20 years ago. And same with men. But Because of those reasons, I don't think you can generalize men or women now as it relates to fragrance. As it relates to fragrance, because now things are just changing so much. Even what you think you know is changing, which is why you'll find that like 70% of perfumery right now is marketed unisex. Like fragrance companies now are running like Usain Bolt towards labeling all their fragrances as unisex. And I was just talking about that with a lot of representatives from the niche brands yesterday at Neiman's, because it's like anyone can wear any fragrance, true. But we also don't want to go into a retail store and have a hard time navigating what we might like. There still needs to be a roadmap of styles of perfumery. I don't care if you put men or women on it. I really don't. It's smell, right? It's just liquid, smelly water. But I still want to have a roadmap of how to know what I'm in the wheelhouse of. So even if you did like, you know, citruses, florals, hybrid citrus floral, or, the menu would be endless, which is why I think you should still have, masculine, feminine, and then explore the profile wheel within that. You can still have it be repeated in the women's side, but just to help people navigate. But then also, it's just really confusing. I genuinely feel like the fragrance shopping experience is a very uneducated one. You know, the average person still walks into a fragrance store today and just kind of puts fragrances to their nose, smells them. After a couple of fragrances, they're nose blind to everything and they kind of just want to get out of there anyway. The only people that really sit in these stores is fragrance enthusiasts, which 1/3 of the world even wears a fragrance, and out of that 1/3, 90% of that 1/3 has less than 2-3 bottles of fragrance. So truthfully, fragrance is way more niche than people even understand. I think people in fragcom forget that because they only know people with fragrance, and they only, you know what I mean? It's just the fragrance world is very undereducated, and so yet in the last 5-10 years, the fragrance world, more people are learning about fragrance and more people are having access to fragrance today than ever before. So we're just experiencing this explosion of, wow, this is a hobby we can afford. And so things are changing. How fragrances look, the marketing of a fragrance, the access of a fragrance due to the online market basically shutting down a lot of retail brands and retail stores. It's about to get real. It's going to change drastically. Do you have Hugo Boss the Scent Magnetic? No, but I've smelled it and it's amazing. I put it in like the top 3 best Hugo Boss. I'm going to fly through these chats, guys, because I got to go to sleep now. I'm wearing Del Mar today and Tres Horos, and I love Day 3. Del Mar is amazing. Day 3 fragrances, they're boutiques across the street from my house. So I'm very familiar with that house. I think they make incredible, affordable scents that are independent niche and that win a lot of awards. So I support Day 3 fragrances all the time. Okay, I own 25 Aaron Terrence Hughes frags. Wow. I'm going to be honest, man. I'm only going to say this because I'm not going to speak too much about it. A lot of Aaron Terrence Hughes fragrances feel the same. His amazing fragrances smell incredible, and I appreciate him as a reviewer and as a perfumer. But I don't know if 25 Aaron... Okay, here's what I think. I think when you say I own 25 Aaron Terrence Hughes fragrances, you are not telling me you own 25 bottles of Aaron Terrence Hughes. That would seem really ridiculous to me because so much stuff smells similar. I would guess you maybe own some bottles and you own a lot of decants because that would be crazy. But if you do, that's great too. Clarify for people in the chat though. I love Guapo and Legend Supernova all beast mode. Okay. They just launched a new line that sold out in minutes. Most insane notes, battery acid, shark blood, etc. Holy crap, that's insane. Familiar with Full House from Game of Spades? Yes, I am. Do you like Bond number 9? I'm not a big fan of Bond number 9, but they do have some good ones. Summer Mink, Eau de Parfum by Drake. What's it called? I'm a female, but it smells universal. I love it. You know, when it comes to Summer Mink, I'm just going to tell you guys right now, I gave it a 7 out of 10. As a man smelling Summer Mink, it's not very manly. The fragrance is simple. Musk, vanilla, some florals, and some other stuff they claim that's in there, but it's mostly a vanilla musk. Smells like a summer coat. You know, the whole concept, Summer Mink, right? It is a unisex fragrance that is geared towards women, but they're going to call it unisex because they want to snatch up the men market who want to have a Drake fragrance. Most women really like the fragrance, give it a 8, 9, or 10 out of 10. Most men that wear the fragrance hate it, but most men 25 and down love it. That's been the feedback that I've seen universally. Young boys, teenagers, and college kids that are men call it, 8, 9, or 10 out of 10, just like the women. More women love it than men. On the women's side, it doesn't really matter the age. They all think it's above average and really nice because, again, it's can you really go wrong with vanilla and musk? You look at every fragrance in a retail store for women as far as the sweet scents. Vanilla and musk are in literally everything. So that makes sense. But for men, vanilla and musk alone with not anything else is a little strange. But for younger men, it makes all the sense in the world because younger men tend to lean towards date night scents, and all of those scents have vanilla and musk in them. It's not the only thing they have, but so it works. I gave it a 7 out of 10, but it makes all the sense in the world why I did. It's not because I'm special. It's because I'm a 36-year-old man who doesn't want to smell like vanilla and musk only. You know what I'll do? You know what I'll do, guys? I'm going to release 10 fragrances that have, look, I smashed my finger this morning. Isn't that crazy? I'm going to release 10 fragrances for men that have vanilla and musk and that are better than Summer Mink. And if I can, I still think I can do this. Even though I'm not a woman, I think I can name at least 5 vanilla musk fragrances for women that annihilate Summer Mink and that are the same price as Summer Mink. Here's the tough thing about Summer Mink, and I'll end on this. Drake is advertised as a guy who likes niche fragrances. In fact, Creed Aventus was his signature scent for a long time. You see a lot of videos now with streamers and rappers about their signature scents. And they marketed this whole idea that Drake was a Creed Aventus guy, and he was into a lot of different homage level niche perfumery. And so I think when people thought he was going to come out with a fragrance, they expected it to smell super high-end niche. And then he came out with this super commercial utility fragrance where it's like vanilla and musk. You can't argue against it. It smells good. But does it smell to the quality that he's marketed as this like niche guy who is the finer things in life? Does Summer Mink smell like the finer things in life? No, it's just a really great, soft, unoffensive vanilla musk scent. And so that's what was off-putting about it, is he basically made a women's fragrance that men were anticipating smelling good on them. And it smells good on a man, but ladies, how many women want their man, not men, their man, to smell like vanilla and musk? Not many. But men can wear it. If you wear Summer Mink around women and you're older than the age of 25, you will get friend zoned immediately off top. It's just what it is. Women can jump in and say, no, you won't. It smells sexy. Trust me. If you're over 25 wearing Summer Mink near a woman and any man comes around you wearing anything masculine, you are getting friend zoned off rip. I'm just telling you. What's your thoughts on Paris Corner Moscow Mule? It's a good Blue Moon Ginger Dash clone. It's good. It's solid. What do you think about, I haven't smelled 1881 Signature. Okay. Let's see. I'm flying up the chat, guys. Smell Baccarat Rouge DNA and YSLY. Most at my uni. Okay. Target got dupes. Okay, okay. Just purchased a new fragrance, a Miral Oud. It's very strong. I might have to go 2 sprays for daily wear. Okay. I'm flying down the chat, guys. I'm trying to catch up. Have you tried Reef 33? No. In what situation should I wear Latafa Mirdal Oud? Super cold weather. So what is the most important thing to look for in a cologne? I think the most important thing to look for in fragrance is fragrance. Like, if you don't really know what you're looking for, you don't have to look for anything. Go to a place where there's a lot of fragrance. Sephora, Ulta Beauty. Start with the designers and just smell everything in there. You know what the best thing you can do right now is, guys? Go, if you're new to fragrance, go into a Sephora or an Ulta Beauty, bring your phone with you, and smell everything. If your nose starts to get like flared up and you can't handle it, leave and come back another day. Maybe 2 days out of the week, you go into a Sephora, go maybe Tuesday you're going into Sephora, Thursday you're going into Ulta Beauty. Whatever you have. And just smell everything. And take cell phone notes. I like this. Yeah, I really like this. 8 out of 10. This, 9 out of 10. Chanel Laurent Sport. Okay, Gentleman Reserve Privé. Okay, really like that. It's date night. I would wear that on a date. YSL L'Homme. Okay, blah, 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 blah. This smells really good. Gucci Guilty Elixir. Okay, it's fresh. I would love to wear that every single day. And you start taking notes, right? And then you have a cell phone full of fragrances that you like. Now you have a list. Take that list, go on Fragrantica. Maybe start by going on YouTube. Type that fragrance in, Gucci Guilty Elixir review, and just hear people talk about it. See if the experience they got is the experience that you got. Refresh your memory. Then go on Fragrantica. Look up all the fragrances you like. See what the votes are, what the longevity is. Start just learning. It's about learning. And then out of those, certain ones you picked will stick out to you. Put them in a list of priority and just start buying one at a time. That way you're never blind buying. The fragrance you're going to buy is a fragrance you've already smelled. You like it. You did a little research on it. Bam. And you just keep going back. You keep doing that. Then maybe you start to have 20 bottles of fragrance. You want to get niche. Okay, now you go to a Neiman Marcus, Saks and Fifth, Bloomingdale's, and you go in there and you smell a couple of fragrances and you take some cell phone notes. Maybe before you go into a niche house, you go on YouTube, top 10 niche fragrances. You hear a couple people's opinions. Oh, that sounds good. Okay, aquatic fresh. Oh, I like that. Okay, I'm gonna get Mephisto. You go into a niche house and you want to smell it. Smell it. You know what I'm saying? YouTube will help navigate some confirmations for you, but it'll also put you onto new stuff you're not thinking about. The retail stores will confirm or not confirm your suspicion about those fragrances. But before you start going to YouTube first and then going to the retail stores, you have to navigate some basic DNAs so you can understand them. Okay, Gucci as a house makes more metallic sense. Prada makes mostly fresh, sensual sense. Givenchy makes classy masculine and classy seductive sense. Spice Bomb makes mostly sweet seductive sense. Dior makes classy sense and sexy sense. What else? Tom Ford, all over the place. But their fragrances generally smell more luxurious in a retail store. Jean Paul Gaultier, mostly tropical and sensual and overly sweet vanillic driven scents. You can learn this stuff by going in. So, because what you'll notice is that a lot of the reviewers will describe niche and independent niche and clones based off the retail stuff. So they might be looking at a clone and they'll be like, it's kind of a little Jean Paul Gaultier Le Beau with Spice Bomb Extreme. And you're like, oh, I know exactly what that's going to smell like because I went to Sephora or Ulta Beauty and I smelled those two fragrances. They might be describing an Amouage fragrance and they'll say, you know, it smells like Gucci Guilty Elixir with a little bit of Tom Ford Oud Wood. And you're like, oh, I've smelled those fragrances. Everybody in FragCom describes inspiration fragrances, clone fragrances, niche fragrances, and independent niche fragrances. They describe them using designer fragrances. So that's why going into a Sephora and Ulta Beauty and stuff like that is really important, because once you smell Chanel, Gucci, Victor and Rolf, Prada, Tom Ford, Jean-Paul Gaultier, all those fragrances, you now have the base smells of pretty much everything in perfumery to understand the world. So hopefully that helps you, man. I know I'm talking out of my butt. Hey, listen, I'm going to do something I've never done before, guys. I did not get to the bottom of the list in chat tonight, which is the first time ever in Scent Bubble history. However, I am insanely tired and I've been on for 145 minutes standing up. So congratulations to you guys. You beat me. But I have to turn the camera off. So this is what I will always say. I'm going to leave you guys with two things. First off, thank you so much for joining the channel. If you're new to the channel, I drop reviews every single day. I drop 2 to 3 videos per day. We do everything: community posts, long form reviews, short hot takes, game shows, collaborations, everything. We do giveaways all the time. Excuse me. If you're interested in that type of content, let me earn the chance to get a follow or a sub from you guys. It's free. You'll know by the end of the week if this is your thing. We go live, we do Q&As. It's very interactive. I think I have the best community in FragCom, and I post more than almost everybody in FragCom, with the exception of some of your guys like Jet Sense. So thank you so much. Secondly, if there was a question you asked in the chat that I did not answer, copy it and paste it in the comment section of this chat, and I will answer it in 24 hours or less, generally next morning. So you never have to worry about if you asked a question and I didn't answer it. I will be glad to reply to your comment on this video if you still want to get an answer to that. If there was any fragrances tonight that were recommended or any rants that I went on that you want to rewatch, I leave all of my lives up. So you can go to the live section of my videos the next day or in the future and rewatch all of the content that we discussed tonight. I hope this was valuable for you, and I hope you guys had a good time. I know I did, but my voice is now cash, so I need to get some sleep. Love you guys. Until next time, be blessed.